All right, guys, good morning to everyone once again. Today is the 20th of June 2025. Today is a Friday, and we have a holiday yesterday, the Juneteenth holiday. Today we have the triple witching. Be mindful, triple witching, usually the market will either move all the way up until probably like midday, which is like 12 a.m. Singapore time. All right, then the market may turn the other way because triple witching, right? So the see which one is actually the weaker one, and they try to maneuver the market. It's always the case. Although this one is not written in stone or not carved in anywhere, but as traded for many years, we know how they maneuver this. So guys, in short itself, follow the OP, all right? If the market is trading above OP, you just stick to the buy side. If the market stays below OP, you stick to the sell side because don't go and do bottom picking, okay? Maybe after 12 a.m. tonight, midnight, when they have finished their so-called rollover, and then if the market on a U-turn or whatever, you can go into that. All clear? If all clear, press number 1 right now. This is going to be a very, very important message today, as of this morning. Very important, yeah? Okay. Oh, you guys are very fast today. All right, today we have the second round sharing, which is the difference between the day trader and the intraday trader. All right, day trader means we use day chart versus the one intraday. So that's why I think today got more people coming in to tune in, yeah? Okay. All right, so with that, let's just start the morning by looking at this right now, the big news in the market. Rice prices in Japan has more than doubled in May as core inflation jumps to the highest level since 2023. Rice prices has spiked 101%, making their largest increase in over half a century. So now you understand why I told you guys that why your chicken rice will go up, why your this one-time meat will go up in price. See, it's happening. So the thing is this right now, right? China has decided to keep lending rates steady after May cut as trade deals with US eases growth worries. All right, in short, China also know that fighting against US, they will get hit regardless. So they also realize that they better keep their lending rate steady, okay? After they cut it, because if they do that too often, again, that will create into inflation. And that's exactly what Jerome Powell understand that. And of course, Donald Trump, who doesn't care, he said that don't care, I want it down. So for that itself, right, you can have, I'll put up this article that you know that it came high inflation, okay? And also, right, this is the 38th straight month that inflation run above the BOJ 2%. It's very difficult to bring down, unless impossible. And the thing is this right now, even though the yen is appreciating in value, right, but the people is having problem because they cannot export their products overseas. So when they cannot export overseas, they will not make money. They cannot make money at home itself, the inflation shooting up itself. This is going to be a devastation. Tell you that. So this is going to be a big issue, yeah. All right, now the next thing is that we also know that the people are all speculating that whether this weekend or next weekend latest, Donald Trump will decide his decision to go and come get involved with this the Israelis to go against the Iranian. All right. Now the thing is that for US side, they will not send any troops. That's for sure. Okay, as in the troops of ground troops. They will send maybe planes, drones, or support flights, technical support, or spy intelligence, but they will not send troops. So sending troops itself, you need the Congress to actually approve. Okay, you cannot just send and go for war. You can't do that. And that's why remember back then in this in the 2000 911 period with the time when Bush came in and he says that he had talked to Congress and give a very powerful speech, and then when Congress came in and said, okay, let's go for the fight, and that was what happened. Okay, so you must understand the difference here. So okay, so if US get involved, yes, the stock market will be affected. It's very clear. Whenever US get involved with a war, the stock market will get the stock market will be affected. If the war got nothing to do with US, or US just provide some intelligence and some support, the market don't care. Yeah, so a bit difference here. Yeah, okay. So we all know that futures yesterday dropped quite a fair bit. This morning gap up. Don't know why. Also, okay. See some of my gains became so small after that. Okay, never mind. No choice. This trading. Okay, so you can see that Donald Trump actually during his golf game, he says that you will have a final decision within the next 2 weeks. But people are is expecting him to give within this week itself, okay? And of course, there is all both side calls. Donald Trump want the leader of Iran to give in, to have unconditional surrender. But the leader say, if you dare to touch our side, we'll touch your people too. So a lot of these things going on both side party, yeah? Okay, so the thing is this right now, right? Donald Trump again ripped into Powell, saying that the Fed chair is costing the US hundreds of billions of dollars by delaying rate cuts. Of course, definitely. If the Federal Reserve don't, well, if you think about this, the money is being printed by Federal Reserve, lent to USA, and the billions and billions of money that they're paying interest pays to who? Obviously, right? So if you think about it for one moment, why would I want to cut my interest rate so that I can live lesser? You understand that? It's something that is quite clear here. So you look at the US dollar right now, the US dollar is still trying to climb, but I think we are near the peak already. Yes, we're near the peak a little bit on the US dollar. So if the US dollar do come down, gold price will go up. So that's the reason why I'm eyeing at gold around. But of course, again, if there's a outbreak in the war, the dollar will be in place again to buy because everybody will be buying ammunition, right? Then the dollar will shoot up. So let's see how it goes from here. Yeah. Okay. Then, of course, on the same thing as well, we can see the TLT is really having a big issue right now. Let's take a look at TLT. TLT is the US bond. All right, you can see that again this morning, last night opened up higher, then trade lower. The market doesn't really like what they're seeing right now. They're trying to hover and fight. You can see that. Let's see the numbers here. All right, it says that because the Israel strike on Iran boosts safe haven ETF demand. I just don't buy this. This is just for temporary basis. Yeah. All right, and last but not least, we all know that the oil price basically shoot up, all right, yesterday, and I'm pretty confident that we'll see the $77, which we saw yesterday. For those who take profit, good job done yourself. All right, so if this thing really continue, right, how high will oil go? We'll take a look at the chart later. Okay, all clear? If all clear, press number 2 right now on the macro picture. Thank you, Dylan, so far. Okay, someone asked me on the site yesterday, KEL, is it so important to know this macro news? No, it's not. Okay, because at the end of the day, we are traders. We follow the OP rule. The market want to buy, we'll just buy. Want to sell, we'll just sell. But I'm having some macro picture to give you confidence like why you're buying crude right now when the price is at high price, why you are buying gold because you're expecting gold to recover, when there's going to be a need for that. Why are you shorting the index? Because there's potentially a war going on. So this macro picture, you just give it to you a bit of insights, but it doesn't dictate what you should do today. Okay, it doesn't. Because we've seen, right, in the last few days, all war, 6-7 days of war in Iran and Israel, but not every day the market go down. And not every day the crude oil go up, sorry. So it's not equivalent. Okay, it's not, yeah. All right, so let's now look at the market right now directly. Okay, and let me bring it to you right now. Okay, here we go. Now we have a bit of selling in gold this morning, right? This morning there's some selling in gold. Now this morning itself, right? Someone texted me about at 3365 asking me can buy gold. I say why? He said that because gold can go up, right? He said that because of the doji. I say it's doji, right? So if it's doji, then the first thing is must remember the rule of thumb. We must trade above OP for buy. So which means that if gold do not stay above OP, no buying, period, finish. Okay? Doji directional day is about the opening price versus the current price. If the market is above OP, it's a buying day. It's below OP, it's a selling day. It's as simple as that. Okay. So now the market is trading below OP, right? Yeah. Then of course you say, "Care about wait, just now you show me the dollar index coming down, right?" That's why I tell you it's not equivalent. You just take it as an understanding, but it's not like dollar go down, gold must go up. You know, it doesn't behave that way. Although in general it makes sense, but in some situation like this itself, right? It could be one reason is because someone who needs money, so keep on selling gold, or someone needs some cash now. They need some cash flow. They need to do some exchange packages, or they do reshuffling of portfolio. All these can happen. So it's better to just follow the OP rule. That will make your life easier. Yeah, all clear? All right, very important, yeah. Next thing is that now the gold price also triggered the pivot 1, right? It means that it basically went to the pivot and then got hit by the pivot and pull back. Now, pivot, as you know, is a reversal signal, right? So hitting the pivot 1 and pull back is a very strong sell signal. But wait a minute, the KSI is green, the KCS is black, so how can we sell? Remember, these two are only for sizing purposes. Right, you still trade the OP rule, below OP sell, above OP buy. If the KSI happen to be with you, then you just stay normal size. If the KSI and KCX is not with you, then you do the reduced size. All right. Again, this is very, very important thing that you must take note. Yeah, guys. Okay, clear? All right. So the for gold itself right now, right? Yeah, ignore this KCL. It's not supposed to be there. all right, because it's not following through the colors. I'll tell my program to change it. So the thing is this right now, right, if gold is to come back down, I think the first support had to be here, which is the MA30, 33.48 level. Upside itself will be this KCB, and that will be giving me, if I'm not wrong, yeah, the number will be 3390, yeah, 3390. Okay, 3390 or 3348. Okay, so this will be the two numbers that we're watching out for the market itself, yeah. Okay, let's move on. Gold is still coming down as we are speaking right now. Okay, this is the Dow Jones. Now, Dow Jones this morning, we have an interesting move this morning. Dow Jones, today, the opening price is 41,914. Now, why did the Dow Jones gap up, right? The nearest I can see is because the crude oil came down. And there's some speculation that the Iranians have sent people down to support the there's some people down to talk to Donald Trump, according to Donald Trump. Okay, so no one have seen that happening. No one know this is real or fake, but apparently Donald Trump is a world leader, right? So everybody just believe in him right now. Okay, so the thing is this right now, we all know that it is showing here that the KSI is red. So how to interpret this? Okay, so again and again, I repeat, guys, once the market opens, if it stays above OP, no matter how, it's a buy. So in this case right now, the market stays above OP, so the market goes up, right? It's up by about nearly almost 100 points from the opening price. But the main thing is that it gap up, right? It closed near the low yesterday. I thought that it would go lower, but instead it gap up. Okay, fine, no choice. And then it went all the way up and broke above pivot 1, trading now above pivot 1 kind of comfortably. So what should I do with this? Exactly stay on the long side until you see the next KCB, which happened to be 42,164 level, right? That is the KCB number, 42,164 level. Okay, 42,164 level, yeah. The KSI itself is red in color, so which means that once you see profit in every technical level, do take profit. So if you're a buyer on Dow this morning, just take profit at every level itself. Okay, that is what you need to do for today's Dow Jones. Okay, upside is already tell you. Downside, if downside really come down, then we will see the pivot 2 coming in, because you can see the KCB and the pivot 2 are very near to each other. So there's a high chance that if the market breaks below the OP, the market may really come down all the way to the 41.88 level, which is the pivot 2. Okay, all clear? If all clear, press number 3 right now. Seems like everybody is trying to fight the next number, yeah? Now it's in Edmonton, yeah? Okay, all right, so that is the US Dow Jones for us. Let's look at the crude oil market. Singapore is a very hot country, yeah? Okay, now this is crude oil, and you can see that yesterday crude oil went all the way to the high of $77.06. I booked some profit at $77 a bit only. Then after the price pulled back down all the way to 75.21. Okay, it's off nearly $1.90 from the high, and that's a lot. Okay, so today what is happening? You can see right now is heavily resisted at the pivot 2, right? The opening price is 74.94. The pivot 2 is 75.63. The market is trying to go above it. So if the market don't go above it, right, and stay below OP, then there will be some selling at the moment because it's below OP, below pivot 2. But with the KSI green and the KCX black right now, right, I think the buying interest is still there, and plus the ongoing war issue. So I will still stick to my guns. Above OP, then I buy. But this time around, because the pivot 2 is on top of me, maybe above pivot 2, then I buy. So 75, 63 onwards, then I buy. I know that by saying this, you say, well, KEL, that will lose 80 cents. But then I'd rather be safe than sorry. I'd rather be safe than trying to be smart and try to buy low when, it's supposed to buy straightforward deals, yeah? So this one I leave to you guys. My choice is wait for the market to go above OP first, then to for buy. Okay, but of course you want to buy right now for whatever reason, then you just buy for your own thing. Yeah, but do not use your system to buy. Your system didn't allow you to buy at all at this moment right now. Okay, all clear. If all clear, press number 4 right now. Okay, so this is the Canadian dollar. We can see that the Canadian dollar rebounded. Guys, watch out for this. Rebounded pretty strongly, but the KSI retained red. So this is actually a very good elephant trade downside setup. Okay, so which means that the market, if it cannot stay above the OP, be careful. And of course, if it breaks pivot 2, in this case, we are nearby, okay, maybe later on, and it breaks below, then we could see the first selling all the way to here, to basically 1.3669. Okay, this one here is a 1.35666. Okay, so very simple. If the market breaks down, it has to touch 1.36699, 1.36691 or 9, sorry, 1.36699. Okay, that will be the first target for this one. Then if it breaks further, the second target will be 1.35666. Yeah, so this number is quite interesting. Okay, so the thing is this, for me, I still believe that the dollar is overplayed recently. I think the dollar will pull back. If the dollar pull back, then of course you will see the like currency like this one, or the move, you see gold, the move and stuff like that. But one thing to note itself, yeah, okay, is that if the dollar don't if the dollar that's only if the dollar basically comes what they call comes down, yeah. Okay, so that is where you have to take note of that. Okay. So for me, I'm just going to be on a waiting game, right? One thing to note is triple breaching today and some more today is Friday, the weekend. So traders I expect to be seeing volatile movement today. That it should be happening. Okay. All right. So that will be all for this morning session for the first half, which is the revision to the market talk. In about 1 to 2 minutes, we'll do the revision and we talk about very important thing, the difference between the day chart trader and the intraday trader. What's the biggest difference and what's the biggest misunderstanding and myth between the both of them? Okay, I'll see you guys later. Yeah, bye bye.